Taxi driver follows Travis Bickle, a Vietnam veteran living alone in New York City. Unable to sleep and unable to connect with other people, he takes a job driving a taxi through the city at night. As he spends more time observing crime, prostitution, and violence, he becomes increasingly convinced that society is rotten and needs to be cleaned up. What begins as a story about loneliness slowly becomes a story about obsession, violence, and a man searching for purpose in all the wrong places. The film opens with Travis driving through New York at night. Through his diary entries, we learn that he suffers from severe insomnia and spends most of his life alone. Because he works nights, he's constantly exposed to the city's darker side. He sees prostitutes, criminals, drug users, and people who seem to have nowhere else to go. The city quickly becomes a reflection of Travis's state of mind. While New York is certainly troubled, Travis views it as something completely corrupted. He talks about wanting a rainstorm to wash all the filth away, showing that he sees the city's problems almost like a disease. The taxi itself becomes an important symbol because Travis spends the entire movie surrounded by people while remaining emotionally separated from them. He watches life through a window instead of participating in it. Everything changes when Travis notices Betsy, a campaign worker for presidential candidate Charles Palantine. Unlike the people he usually sees, Betsy appears calm, organized, and respectable. Travis immediately becomes fascinated with her and eventually gathers the courage to ask her out. At first, things seem surprisingly normal. Their conversation suggests that Travis might finally be able to form a genuine connection with another person. However, it soon becomes clear that Travis is attracted more to the idea of Betsy than to who she actually is. He places her on a pedestal and treats her like a symbol of the life he wishes he had, rather than as a real person. This becomes obvious when he takes her to an adult movie theater on their second date. Travis sees nothing unusual about it because these theaters have become a normal part of his routine. Betsy, however, is shocked and immediately leaves. The scene highlights how disconnected Travis has become from social norms. He wants a normal relationship, but no longer understands what normal looks like. After Betsy rejects him, Travis becomes even more isolated. He repeatedly calls her, tries to apologize, and eventually confronts her at her workplace. Instead of repairing the relationship, he only pushes her further away. This section of the film shows how loneliness can create a vicious cycle. Travis desperately wants connection, but his inability to understand people causes him to sabotage every opportunity he gets. Each rejection makes him feel more alienated, and that alienation causes his behavior to become even more extreme. Rather than reflecting on his mistakes, Travis begins directing his anger towards society itself. As his frustration grows, Travis starts looking for a purpose. He speaks to another taxi driver named Wizard and attempts to explain the disturbing thoughts running through his mind. However, Travis struggles to express himself, and Wizard dismisses his concerns with simple advice. This conversation is important because it represents one of the few moments where Travis tries to reach out for help. The problem is that neither man is able to communicate what's really happening. Travis can't explain the depth of his loneliness, and Wizard fails to recognize how serious the situation has become. After this, Travis begins physically transforming himself. He starts exercising obsessively, buys several guns, and spends hours practicing with them. The famous mirror scene, where he asks,
"You talking to me? You talking to me?"
shows him creating a new identity. He's rehearsing a version of himself that is confident, powerful, and feared. The guns give him something he has lacked throughout the entire film, a sense of control. As Travis becomes more unstable, he develops an obsession with Senator Palantine. He begins attending political rallies and studying security patterns, eventually planning an assassination attempt. What makes this interesting is that Travis doesn't seem particularly interested in politics. Palantine is less a political target and more a symbol. Travis feels invisible and powerless, and he begins to believe that one dramatic act of violence will finally make his life meaningful. His growing obsession reflects the film's larger theme about people searching for purpose and belonging. During his nightly taxi routes, Travis repeatedly encounters Iris, a 12-year-old girl trapped in prostitution. Unlike his relationship with Betsy, His interactions with Iris reveal a more complicated side of his character. Travis genuinely seems disturbed by her situation and wants to help her escape. However, the film never allows us to fully separate Travis's compassion from his personal desires. Saving Iris offers him an opportunity to become the hero he imagines himself to be. This makes the situation morally complicated because his actions are motivated by both genuine concern and a need to give his own life meaning. Even so, Iris represents something real. Unlike Betsy, who became an idealized fantasy in Travis's mind, Iris is an actual person facing an actual problem. For the first time in the movie, Travis directs his energy towards something outside himself. Before carrying out his plan against Palantine, Travis shaves his head into a mohawk and attends a political rally armed with weapons. His appearance makes him look less like a civilian and more like a soldier preparing for battle. The mohawk symbolizes Travis's complete transformation. Earlier in the film, he was a lonely observer watching society from the outside. Now he sees himself as someone chosen to act. When Secret Service agents notice him and approach, Travis is forced to flee before carrying out the assassination. The failure is significant because it changes the direction of the story. Travis still wants to commit violence, but now he must find a different target. That night, Travis goes to the brothel where Iris works and confronts the people exploiting her. What follows is a brutal and chaotic shootout that leaves multiple people dead. Travis himself is seriously wounded and barely survives. The violence here is ugly and disturbing. There's nothing glamorous about it. The blood, confusion, and suffering force us to confront the consequences of the violence Travis has spent the entire film fantasizing about. After the shooting, Travis attempts to take his own life, but discovers he has no bullets left. He then mimics shooting himself with his finger as police arrive. The moment suggests that Travis expected this mission to end with his death. Having completed what he saw as his purpose, he no longer knows what comes next. Following the shootout, the media portrays Travis as a hero who rescued a young girl from exploitation. Iris's parents thank him, and rather than facing punishment, he becomes a local celebrity. This ending creates one of the film's biggest ironies. Earlier in the story, Travis planned to assassinate a presidential candidate. Had he succeeded, he would have been remembered as a dangerous criminal. Instead, because his violence was directed toward people the public viewed as villains, he's celebrated as a hero. The film raises an uncomfortable question: how much of heroism depends on a person's intentions, and how much depends on the outcome? Travis hasn't suddenly become mentally healthy. The same anger, loneliness, and instability still exist within him. Society simply finds this particular act of violence acceptable. The final scene reinforces this idea. Travis encounters Betsy again, and the conversation seems surprisingly normal. For a brief moment, it appears as though everything has been resolved. However, just before the film ends, Travis suddenly reacts to something in his rearview mirror. It's a small moment, but an important one. The look in his eyes suggests that the darkness we have watched throughout the film hasn't disappeared. Rather than ending with a clear resolution, Taxi Driver leaves us with uncertainty. Travis may be viewed as a hero, but the underlying problems that drove him toward violence were never truly solved. Taxi Driver is ultimately about loneliness and the search for purpose. Throughout the film, Travis struggles to connect with others and gradually convinces himself that violence can give his life meaning. While he's eventually praised as a hero, the ending suggests that his deeper problems haven't truly been solved. More than a story about crime or vigilantism, Taxi Driver explores how isolation can distort a person's view of both themselves and the world around them, which is why the film remains so powerful even decades later. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.